Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise to
Yahawah,
Yahawah,
Yahawashi.
double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. This is GMS Wisconsin, aka GMS Fortress with Sit Down. Today's topic is basically sanctifying the name of the Lord. Because a lot of people out here, as you can see, in that Daniel 7 from my UIC, Rakar, Elder Rakar from GOCC. They don't take the name of the Lord with all gravity, with all reverence. To them, they take it with lightness, so to speak. There's no respect for the name of the Most High. There's no reverence in the Most High's name. It's just any old other thing. And we got a few scriptures to basically break it down. Break down that the name is of importance. The Most High has a certain order about Himself and a certain level of respect that you have to have for the Most High. We're going to, through the Spirit and power of Yahawashi, make that clear. All right, by going through the scripture. So the first scripture I'm going
let me, since you said what you said, let me just bring this out real quick. This is Psalm 79:9. It says, "Help us, O power of our salvation, for the glory of thy name, and deliver us." So it said, for the glory of thy name. So help us for the salvation, for the glory of your name. Okay? And deliver us, because that's the only name that we're going to get delivered by. Okay? Yahawashi, which means deliverer. Okay? Yahawashi, who was the son of the Most High, Yahawah, he delivers. So the main objective of the you can say the first and second coming of who the world calls Jesus Christ, who is Yahawashi, was for the deliverance of Israel. Okay? Back in the ancient world, back then, when he came on the scene, he delivered us from sin. Okay? Him being put on the cross delivered us from sin. Okay? So that's what his name meant. Now, once again, on the second coming, he's going to deliver us from the destruction that he's going to put on the entire planet Earth, and he's going to deliver the children of Israel. Okay, so this is a topic that always has to be brought up, seeing that the time that we're in, that we have to sanctify that name. Okay, so I'm going to read it again. Psalm 79:9. Help us, O power of our salvation, for the glory of thy name, and deliver us and purge away our sins for thy name's sake. Okay, so the name is important. Okay, that's pretty much it, I got. We're going to get into the numbers?
Oh, yeah, come.
Start from verse 1?
Yes,
okay, this is Numbers 20:1. Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin in the first month, and the people of Abad and Kadesh, and Miriam died there, and was buried there. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And the people charged with Moses and spake, saying, Would God that we had died, when our brethren died before the Lord?
Right, so when you go into the word "cho," it just basically means to strive with the Most High. They really were striving with the Most High.
Being rebellious.
Being rebellious, but the mediator for us, them was Moses and Aaron. So.
And why have ye brought up the congregation of the Lord unto the wilderness? It says the congregation of the Lord in caps, so that's Yahawah when you go into the blue letter. Okay? It says, and why have you brought up the congregation of Yahawah into the wilderness, that we and our cattle should die there? And wherefore have ye made us to come up out of Egypt to bring us into this evil place? Is it no place of seed, or of figs, or of vines, or of pomegranates? Neither is there any water to drink.
Right, so this is basically Israel's appreciations for the Lord saving them from Egypt.
Right.
All right, so you got to mind that. And things are not much different from today, because we embody the same essence, we embody the same spirits that were back then, And it's entirely the same principle when you're dealing with our salvation and our exile from America today. They correlate. So, you know, as they did mourn and chode or strive against Moses, then they strive against, you know, the men that he set up today, you know. And one of the principal things was to basically be, you know, grateful. You know, and Israel wasn't grateful, though he did all those miracles.
Verse 6. And Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly up to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of the Lord Yahawah appeared unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the rod and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock, so they shall give the congregation and their beasts drink. And Moses took the rod from before the Lord Yahawah as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock, and he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? Ask the question. So he basically saying they were doing it.
Yeah, we're possessive now. Which the verse is coming up. It's going to tell you what he did wrong, you know.
It says, And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Lord Yahawah spake unto Moses and Aaron, Because ye believe me not to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given thee.
Right, and so our people have the same, basically doing the same thing. They're not sanctifying the name. And if you can go into the word sanctify, to sanctify the name means to set apart. And the brother's gonna get the Hebrew and stuff, but that's the same thing our people doing today. They're not taking the name seriously, and it's something that should be taken serious, especially for the children of Israel. You know, because it's a law, and we're gonna get into that. You know, it's a law amongst the children of Israel. All right.
Because when we do this, we say all praises to Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi. We don't say all praises, you know what I'm saying, to
the Most High and His Son.
Well, you're right. That was going to say all praises to ourselves. We don't give ourselves praises. Okay? And the thing that Moses and Aaron fucked up on was saying we. Shall we bring, you know, it said, let me go back real quick just to quote it the proper way. He said, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? You know? So they didn't classify the Lord into that mix. And that's why the Lord basically got pissed off at him. He said, just for that act of not sanctifying me, y'all not gonna make it to the kingdom. Not the kingdom, the promised land. Which you know, overall it would be the kingdom, you know, futuristically.
Yeah.
You know. So that was their mistake. And you guys now today who's not sanctifying that name, y'all not gonna make it to the promised land, man. Right? The Lord ain't finna come deliver you because you're not reverencing him the proper way. Mm-hmm. Now Moses and Aaron, they knew. You know? But, you know, they made that mistake. But those were still great men, so this is just a learning lesson for not sanctifying the Most High.
Yeah, so how much more
how great those men were.
How much in transgression are now today, being that the Lord said He's coming back with fiery vengeance, and He's coming to eradicate everything. You know, even His own people, 2/3 of His own people. So how much greater a matter is that now? You know. Okay, we're gonna go into the word. Sanctify.
Oh, okay.
So it's coming from the Hebrew H6942, Quadash.
Which means holy.
Which means hollow. It means to consecrate, sanctify, prepare, dedicate, be hallowed, be holy, be separate.
Right.
To be set apart.
To be separate or to set apart. All right, so you can't just call him the Most High because there's many Most Highs. Buddha, to the Asians, Buddha is the Most High. Okay, to the Africans, well, I don't know what they,
Horus.
they don't probably believe in those guys, you
Right.
know. But they, you know, to any other cultural religion, they have their Most High. So you have to set apart the name of the Most High. You have to sanctify. You have to holy, man. You know. You niggas, you know, you niggas like, you know, you set apart certain things that you like. You know, you like your own material things, man. You like to set apart. See, this is Gucci. You know, no, don't get that name wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or this is Fendi. Or this is Louis Vuitton. You know, so don't be a damn hypocrite, man. You know. So when it comes to the Most High's name, it's that more important, especially dealing with the children of Israel, because we're talking about salvation, and not only that, we're giving praise to the true being Yahawah Yahawashi, who's given us salvation and who's going to do the miracles for us to get out of this state in which we live in now. You know.
Appreciate it. It's Acts chapter 4, verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved.
No other name, not Jesus Christ, not the Most High, or God. God is a title. All right, you got to call on His name. That's why it's sanctified, and that's why we have. Give me Romans 15:4. That's why we have this history to learn from. All right, to know of these mistakes that we don't have to go through like our ancestors had, you know, because they messed up when they said we, because they believed that the burden was on them. No, the burden was on.
All you had to do is hit the rock,
Right.
and give praise to the Lord.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, the burden was on Yahawah, because he like, man, damn, they still unbelieving. I just brought you through the Red Sea. You know, I just showed you all the plagues, you know. So
let me read this real quick. This is Psalms 115:1. It says, "Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. For thy mercy and for thy truth's sake." See that? They said, not unto us, not unto us. You know, like, fuck us. It's to that name, man. That name is what's gonna give the deliverance, man. You know?
And that's why it's a law. So now IUIC, they like to use the words above the name of the Lord. All that means is that the Most High is not going to go back on His word, man. He's going to honor His word because He's a man of His word. Which a lot of you don't understand that principle. A lot of y'all don't understand a lot of principles. All right, honor, integrity, okay,
Reverence.
You know.
Okay, this is Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning,
See.
that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
See, and that's why we have this Numbers 20 and 12, the point, and Moses and Aaron. That's why we have that as a prime example.
That's an example.
You know, not because they weren't perfect like you said, but still we learn from these men and their mistakes. You know, and hey, it's all throughout the scriptures. Our people making mistakes, and what happened when they make mistakes? The Most High jumped. You know, he put forth judgment right away.
That's right.
Now we have grace right now, and the Most High is being merciful. Yeah. So for us to not get it right, you know, and knowing that His wrath and His judgment is terrible, you know, we should be in fear, man. We should be wanting to get it right.
Because like bro said, that we are under mercy, you know, and what proves that, the scripture that tell you that we rehearse the righteous acts.
Yes.
Meaning we ain't gonna get it perfect. We in the stage of rehearsing. So that's how you know that Yahweh Shai has mercy. Because what happened back in the ancient world when they didn't get something right? We got put to death. You know? You got put to death like that. You know? So He gave us the opportunity to have mercy so we can get it right. So we gonna fuck up. You know, not to get off topic, but we under this flesh, you gonna find dirt on all of us. You know, we gon' fuck up, so we are rehearsing to become righteous. You know, so that's showing mercy on Yahawah Shai's behalf to us. You know, Because you got these guys out here who's not giving respect to the name, but then if they is saying the name, they're not respecting the men who taught them that name. You know, they're not respecting the men of the Lord who's actually doing this work. You know.
Yeah, you see when they came up against Moses, what happened? Korah and his motley crew, you know, of miscreants. What happened to them? So you think the Lord wasn't defending Moses? You know,
Yeah.
you think he didn't have him and you know, he favored Moses.
Favorite.
And Most High favors. That's part of his, you know, what he does. He likes to favor certain people.
Yeah.
So how much more not the apostles and elders, you know, Great Millstone, you know, who's been teaching,
Who taught us this name that we're supposed to give respect to. We were taught the name so we can reverence the name, because the Lord said that He was gonna basically put the name out here. You know. So since He did put the name out here, when the scriptures say, "Lord, Lord, haven't we done all Thy will," or certain to that extent? No, you workers of iniquity.
Mm-hmm.
Depart from me,
Yeah.
because y'all really didn't sanctify the name. Y'all didn't care for the name.
yo,
You know.
you don't play with the name.
Y'all know the name, but y'all are playing with the name. That's going to be y'all downfall, man. Now, like Moses and Aaron, they knew the name. They got a little proud because of the stress and all the shit that they was going through with the congregation. But they still was supposed to give that respect and reverence and sanctify that name to let the children of Israel know who were the ones who. How did they get the water from the rock?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Where did it come from?
and where it came from the Most High, Yahawah. Okay, so since they didn't give that appreciation to the Lord, He said, "No, y'all not gonna make it to the kingdom. Yeah, y'all still, you know, righteous men, but nope, y'all not making it to the kingdom because y'all fucked up." So, like, how much more now? Or what's going on now when the destruction is finna happen, and who's not sanctifying that name, man? Who's not giving respect to that name? Go ahead.
I got a quick, just want to run through two of these definitions real quick. It says, set apart as sacred.
What's the name of the definition?
It's on the Sanctify.
Oh, it's sanctify.
Yeah. To set apart as sacred, consecrate, dedicate. To set apart, devote, consecrate. So you have to devote yourself to pushing the name of the Lord, man. The scripture says there's no other name under heaven which way we must be saved. We have the name for a reason, man, to use. That's our power source, you know. We have no power without the name, you know. We have no cloak of mercy without the name, you know. You can't even continue doing the work without the name. You can't even begin to get any knowledge, wisdom, and understanding without calling on the name of the Lord and asking Him for it, you know. So when it says to dedicate or devote yourself to the name, it means exactly that. Put all your power into praying in the name.
Yeah. Did you read Psalms 34? Was it just one verse?
It was a couple verses. I got it if you want.
Okay, start with 1. This is Psalms 145:1. It says, "I will extol thee, my power, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever."
So it says extol Him, man. Y'all gotta. That means, you know. I can get it. Rather than making something up. You gotta set them on high, man.
Strong's age, 73:11. True.
It's really rawam. To extol, it means to rise up, be high, be lofty, be exalted, to be high, be set on high, to be praised, be uplifted, be exalted, to be lifted, to rise.
Now, and that's His name, all right? Now you can say, "Oh no, this is word," but whose word is it? You still got to put a name behind that, man. You know, that's how people, they try to find any loophole they can to do whatever the hell they want.
These Jacobs are a bunch of assholes.
That's
because they never wanted that name to be pushed out because they knew that name comes with a great salvation, and you know, partially the reason that they don't believe in Yahawashi from the jump, and then secondly they getting paid off not to speak in that name because they want to please the higher officials. You know, maybe not the top of the Illuminati who they can never get in contact with, but the Lord Luciferian who giving them that money underhandedly is telling them not to speak, you know, not to teach in that name. You know, so we know that that's going on, man. There's no way in earth that you're gladly preaching that name and then out the blue you start going back to saying Jesus again. You know?
And we're being conspired on. We're being watched. And they're building up cases on all of us. We know this. It's nothing. It ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new under the sun, as the scripture said. You know.
This is Acts 5:24. It says, "Now when the high priest and the captain of the temple and the chief priests heard these things, they doubted of them, or until this would grow." And it's talking about this truth, okay? Because they had locked up Peter. Okay, I'm just jumping. You know, I'm not gonna read the whole story. I'm just gonna, you know, get to the main part. Verse 25 says, "Then came one and told them, saying, Behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people. Then when the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, Did not we straitly command you that ye should not teach in his name, in this name? And that name was Yahawashi. Okay, even the documentary, Killing Jesus, showed you that. These devils know. They showed you the name Yahawashi in the movie. They said the name Yahawashi in the movie. You know? It says, saying, Did not we straitly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intent to bring this man's blood upon us. Right. Because they knew after Yahawashi had died, they knew who he was. So they were in fear. So when they heard that name, they said, No, you can't teach in this name no more. Okay? He said that they'll bring the blood upon them. Because they knew what just recently happened to him. That man who they crucified. You know? That's how serious this name is, man. This name is the downfall, is partially the downfall of Babylon, because they wiped them out, X'd them out in Revelations, okay, and gave him the title Jesus Christ. So the Lord is gonna destroy you for that. I'm talking to the elites now, to the so-called white man who was the Edomites. Okay, according to the scriptures, you trying to take out that name and hide that name, the Lord is gonna pay you for that. And then any nigga, okay, who found out that he was an Israelite and is not teaching that name, the Lord's gonna destroy you for that.
That's right. Yeah.
That's it. Go ahead.
Back in songs.
Okay.
Because the point is, hey man, you gotta uplift that name. And it's all about the kingdom, man. It's all about reverencing that name because it comes with great, you know, it's validity behind that name.
Yeah. It says, I'm going back into Psalms, and we'll start from 145 and 4. So I get 3. Great is the Lord Yahawah, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts. And one of those mighty acts and those works was the delivering out of Egypt. That's how the name got so lifted up at that time, is because that great work that's never happened before. Okay? That to signify that those Hebrews are protected by a higher power, and his name is Yahawah. Okay? They knew that name. They had to so much of not say the name, they called him Alashatya. Okay, which means the demon-like power.
And it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again.
It says, verse 5, I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty and of thy wondrous works. And men shall speak of thy mighty, Slakia, and men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. And how is the greatness going to be declared? By saying that name. You know, when you watch what's that movie? Achilles. Troy. He I believe his best friend told me, he said, you want to be remembered. You want his Achilles wanted his name to be remembered. He didn't care about dying. He just wanted his name to be remembered throughout generation and generation and generation. Okay, because his mother told him, if you go there, you're gonna die. If you stay, you're gonna live. He chose to go there so his name could be made great. And that's what Yahawah did. So his name can be made great. What he did was he took down Egypt. The top, you know what I'm saying, the top kingdom, empire, you know, at that particular time, he took them out and chose a people. You know what I'm saying? Say something?
30 minutes?
No, we're gonna just roll it all the way through.
Okay.
You know? So after Egypt, get that correct, yes. After Egypt, that's when that name started to be proclaimed. So that was the separation. That's why we gotta sanctify it, because we have to sanctify this holy name compared to those other gods. Yeah, there's many gods, like the brother was saying earlier. But what the Lord did was, this name has to be sanctified and separated and holy out of all those other gods. Okay?
You want to first read this time?
No, I got it queued up. You can get it though. I'm gonna finish this for right now. Verse 7. Psalms 45 and 7. They shall abundantly utter the memory of thy great goodness.
The memory. Remember.
Like you just explained to Achilles. He
Yeah.
wanted that name to be remembered.
You wanted that name.
And the Most High did all those miracles and saved us from all that the turmoil that we had to face with all these other nations. He wanted his name to be remembered.
Yeah.
Especially now, if you're not if you're not gonna do it, his elect will. You know.
Like the scriptures say, all things are
Oh,
written
get
before
that.
time for our learning.
So
So
stiff.
not only for us
Second
to,
is, five.
not only,
I got it right here.
not only for us to learn the name, but to remember the name, you know, and to take the accounts in the scriptures and to learn from, and to magnify the Lord, man.
I'm gonna start with a few verses.
That's up to you.
All right, so this is Second Ezra, chapter 2, chapter 2, verses 43. It says, "And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God. Now are they crowned and receive palms." All right, and we do it through Yahawashi. All right, we do it through Yahawashi. Okay. It says, "Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord." Man. So the elect is going to stand stiffly, okay? Because this is talking about when we get those crowns, or when we be the elect, you know? It's talking about the elect that's going to receive the crowns. And what they do, they stood so stiffly for the name, okay? They didn't play with it. They didn't throw it up in there. Yo, play yo. You can call them what you want to call them, as long as you know who you know what I'm saying? They didn't use no excuses.
Yes, I got something. This is John 14 and 26. "But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you." So the Father sent the Comforter, which is Yahawashi, which is the Scriptures, okay, the Spirit of truth, in His name. So that name, if you claim you have the Spirit of truth, or you know what I'm saying, the Comforter, you have to identify the name. It says it. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. You know?
What is it? Zephaniah? Was it Zechariah 3:9?
Zechariah.
Return Zechariah 3:9, pure language.
Oh yeah, kind.
Right, right. Because if you got the Spirit of truth, if you got the Holy Ghost, then you should have been able to receive that name in its original tongue, like the Scripture prophesied, man.
Yep.
And it's faith based. See, you got people trying to they trying to make the Hebrew into a doctrine. Man, look here, man. This is all faith based, man, and we're gonna get accredited on that based on that alone, man. 3, yeah, 3.
Okay.
And he pretty much made it a law to call on his name.
This is 1 John chapter 3, verse 23. And this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of the Son, Yahawashi, and love one another as he gave us commandment.
So part of this is believing on his name. So you got to know his name. All right. Matthew 5:19.
This.
This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right. So you groups out there that's not calling on Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi in the name of Yahawashi, you're in violation. All right. Go ahead.
It says, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
And that's why the elect is going to get crowned. Okay. And those that's not calling on his name, like it says, you're going to be the least in the kingdom, man. You know, think about that. The majesty that's going to be set up on the earth through the power of Yahawah and Yahawashi, and you the least in the kingdom. You know. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
I got something. This is what the brother called out. Zephaniah 3:9. For then will I turn the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with one consent. And that Lord is Yahawah. Okay, that they all may call on Yahawah to serve him with one consent. Okay, and that all right now, that all is talking about the elect. The brother read in 2nd Ezra's how the elect stood so stiffly for the name's sake. Okay, so that elect was going to be speaking that name. It's not talking about everybody. Okay, it's only talking. I mean, when the scriptures say that they may all call upon the name of the Lord, that's talking about the name of Yahawah. That's the elect first. Okay, eventually it'll trickle on down whenever when the whole nation, when the kingdom is set up, we all be calling that name. You know, because brothers are speaking Hebrew right now.
Can't say that we don't know the language.
We know the language. We can learn the language if you don't know it. That name is supposed to be pushed out, man. How's we gonna get the crowns? How's we standing so stiffly for the name? When you know what I'm saying? When we're getting crowned, it says we stood so stiffly for the name. Those are the ones who stood so stiffly for the name. That's why they received those crowns. We're like Nate was teaching a couple of years ago when it said that new
and be fresh.
Right, when the name will be fresh, that's gonna be in the kingdom. Then everybody's gonna get revealed the name. But this scripture just disproved that. You know? Okay, that's it.
Psalms 34.
This is Psalms chapter 34, verse 1. A psalm of David when he changed his behavior before Abimelech, who drove him away, and he departed. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. And so David, he's saying he's going to bless the Lord, Yahawah, at all times, man. His name shall be continually in his mouth.
See? Man, we can go hours and hours about, with this, man.
Yeah, you really
We
good.
can go hours and hours about the name of the Lord. It's basic, it's simple, you know? Hey, but like the scriptures say, man, only the elect, man. The elect shall praise his name.
Yep.
As the scripture say in Sirach 17. But this is was that it on that?
2 more verses. It says, "My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears." All because he was calling on that name.
Yeah, and hey, man, he was delivered from his fears. A lot of you are not going to be delivered from your fears.
That's right.
All right, because you choose